Alright, we are back, and in today's video, I want to teach you about how to know if the woman you are dealing with is a woman of God. Alright, and before we get into it, I want to share a quick rundown with you. For those of you who don't know, I'm Chris. I'm 20 years old, but before I found Christ, I was 17, I was suicidal, I was fat, I didn't have any friends, I didn't have a purpose in high school. And with all that being said, you know, I didn't attract any girls. Alright, I was a complete and total loser. Alright, and I've turned my life around. It's not that hard to. Trust in Lord. Improve yourself. That's what this channel's all about. And if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe. But I improved myself. Alright, I started to glow up. I started to be more attractive. Now, I'm not here saying I'm the Timothy Chalamet or anything. I know I still have a lot of improvement to do. I know I can get more bigger. I still got to get my teeth fixed and whitened. But I've been able to attract more girls. Alright, and I made a mistake of settling with girls who weren't as high quality as I wanted them to be. And it's nothing against them. It's just the fact that, I never felt love from a girl before, besides my mother and grandma. So I settled with these girls who weren't as high quality, and, I made that mistake, and I didn't get into that, and then I decided to go for girls who I thought were closer to Christ, and turns out they weren't. Alright, so I've made a lot of mistakes on my journey. That was a short rundown. So, that's my credibility. I know what I'm dealing with, and let me teach you. Alright, shut up, turn your brain off, take some notes, get your Bible out. Alright, let's talk about what makes a woman of God. Proverbs 31:30. Charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be appraised. Alright, a woman of God is not perfect. She's going to have flaws. She's going to have things that aren't beautiful, okay? But she's submitted to Christ, alright? She's growing in the Spirit. She's focusing on her walk with Christ, and she has a living and breathing purpose, alright? Now let's go into some quality. Signs she's a woman of the Lord. I don't know why I said quality there. That's my fault. Alright, number one, like we just talked about, she fears the Lord. She not just believes in God, because I've had that many times. I've talked to girls, and they say, oh, I believe in God. Alright, let me see some of your actions. And their actions say everything but believing in God, bro. Alright, but the girl genuinely fears him. Alright, she lives, write this down, she lives to please the Lord. Alright, Proverbs 9:10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Alright, shout out Proverbs, best book in the Bible. But she's not chasing trends of the world. She's not shaking her butt on TikTok. She's not going out to party. She's not doing all this stuff. She's chasing righteousness. Alright, she's trying to get closer with Christ. Alright, maybe she does go to a few parties, but she's toning that back down. Maybe she's not trying to drink as much. Maybe she's trying to quit weed, quit vaping. She's trying to go to church more. She's trying to get into Bible study. Alright, she's trying to get off her phone. Things like that. She's trying to get closer to the Lord. That's one quality you need to look for in her. Next up, she's modest in dress and in her heart. Alright, it's not just about wearing long skirts. Like, your wife's not gonna dress up as a nun, bro. I'm sorry, it's 2025. But it's about humility and seeking attention. 1 Timothy 2:9. Women should not adorn themselves in respectable apparel, with modesty and self-control. Or I said should not, sorry. Women should adorn themselves in respectable apparel, with modesty and self-control. Alright, if your girl is most likely, every time she goes out, she's wearing something that are gonna give other men a boost of test, make them excited when they look at her, dude, hate to break it to you, she's not the one, alright? Flipping, her boobs are hanging out and shit, and you can see her ass cheeks from her shorts, bro. She's not the one, bro. I'm genuinely telling you, she's not the one. Alright, maybe she's trying to change, but if she's doing that every single day, she's trying to get attention from other men, she's trying to look and, seek attention from people, get compliments, do all that, feed her ego, bro, she's not the one, alright? I made that mistake before. Girl claims she followed God, girl claims she's going to church, but she was going out every weekend and partying and what do you know? I see on Instagram, I see on Snapchat, I see the snap she sent me because I was trying to get closer to Christ. You know, I'm not in that party scene. I'm trying to build my business. What do I see, bro? Tits hanging out, short dresses, short skirts. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm a fool. I'm an idiot. All right, and laugh at me. Laugh at me all you want, but these are my teachings, and I want to give them to you. Number 3, she encourage you spiritually. All right, she inspires you to pray more, stay in the Word, and grow closer to God. She does not compromise. All right, Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpens iron. All right, she's not a distraction. She's a blessing. Okay, now there's this girl in my life right now, and I don't know where it will go. I haven't really prayed on it a whole bunch, but she generally is a really cool girl, and she inspires me to get better every day. All right, she inspires me to go harder in the gym. She inspires me to, get in my Bible. She inspires me to work on my business, and it generally comes from thinking, wow, I really don't deserve this girl. This girl is a flipping superstar. I want to do everything I can for her. I want to spoil the world. I want to spoil her. I want to give her the world. She's just awesome. All right, I didn't feel that with other girls in the past. Okay, so have her encourage you. And she also lifts me up. She holds me up and she tells me, like, yo, I want you to go to church. Yo, what are your favorite Bible verses? Yo, let's talk verses. Stuff like that. All right, we're talking about Christ. We're talking about our relationship. We're talking about our faith. Okay, she encourages you. All right, I talked about this a lot. When you hang around with bad people, they encourage you to do bad things on you. Bad energy, it rubs off on you. But when you hang around someone good, good energy rubs off on you. All right, same things with girls. All right, girls I was messing with earlier, bad energy, bad juju, bro. But this girl, man, and I'm not saying like she's the one or anything. I'm just talking from my experience, and she really is like she really boosts me up. She really boosts me up. So look for that in a girl. And then number 4, she has self-control. She's not led by emotion, drama, or flesh. Now, obviously, we're talking about girls. All right, there's going to be some drama. There's going to be some emotion. They're going to wear their heart on their sleeves. They're going to be tempered. But look for a girl who's not as crazy as everyone. Some girl cuts her off and she's not out here bashing and swearing and cursing and all these things. Galatians 5:22-23. Self-control is the fruit of the Spirit. If she's always starting conflict, if she's always talking about drama, if you always hear her in drama, she's always led by her impulses. She's like, oh, I wanna go out and get food. She goes and gets food. Oh, I want to vape. Go and gets vape. Oh, I want to drink. Oh, she goes and drinks. All right, that's a red flag, bro. That's a red flag. If she can hold herself in or hold herself down, she can lock in. This is a big one for like people who are in the gym. All right, these girls, they're trying to get in the tiniest little bikinis this year, bro. They're locking in with their diet. I don't recommend them wearing the tiniest bikini, but if you see them like locking in with their diet, locking in with their spirit, like they're reading the Bible every day and like, having self-control and doing the good habits, all right, bro, that's a green flag. That's a W. That's a W. Look for that. Look for that. Look for that. All right. And then number 5, she's not just submissive, because a lot of girls are. A lot of girls are shy. They have a lot of feminine energy, but they're not just submissive. They're surrendered to Christ. All right, submission is a marriage. Submission in marriage, starts with the surrender to God. All right, Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands as you do to the Lord. All right, if she resents spiritual leadership, it's a warning sign. If she is all about, and I'm not here, I don't want to be this Andrew Tate, femininity is bad, or feminist is bad and all that, but if she's out here, and you know what I'm talking about, like, they're, like, batshit crazy, talking about all this stuff, she's not the one. If she's, like, talking bad about the faith, talking bad about, gender roles and all that, she's probably not the one for you, bro. I'm genuinely honest. She's probably not the one. That being said, girls can do whatever they want. All right, if God's planted a fire in their heart, if God's planted a purpose in their heart, go after it. You go, girl. I support feminism. But I think all the stuff about men being awful, men being horrible creatures, she's not the one, bro. She's not the one. I had a girl like that. I was dealing with a girl like that who was a major feminist, and just looking back, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, bro. I'm a straight idiot. So don't make these mistakes. All right. Now let's look at some real life green flags, okay? And before we get into that, you guys better be doing these things as well. All right. If you want a woman of Christ, you have to be doing these things as well. All right. She prays consistently, not just when life gets hard, but she's praying every day. The good days, the bad days, the mediocre days, the days you're not going to remember. She's praying every single one of them. All right. She talks more about her purpose than parties. You know, she talks about what her career is going to be. She talks about if she wants to have a family life and kids and be a mother. You know, her plans for church. All right. She talks about all these things. She doesn't talk about like parties and all that. Like, yo, we're going to the Darty, Thirsty Thursday, all that crap. No, she's talking about ministry and all those things. All right. She's surrounded by good friends. All right. There's that wild saying. I can't say it on here, I don't think. But, you know, some of your 5 friends. Oh, wait, can I say that? Birds of a feather flock together, right? I think that was one of the things I wanted to say. I didn't take a note on that. But birds of a feather flock together, all right? If most of her friends are 304s, she's going to be a 304, bro. I hate to break it to you. If most of her friends are going out partying every single night, best believe she's getting cracked by Tyrone. All right? Hate to break it to you, bro. I'm sorry, I'm just giving you the truth. All right, so make sure she's surrounded by good friends who are going to church, who are uplifting her, and just doing the good habits, okay? Next up, you can see her out and she's doing good things, all right? She's serving at church, or she's helping out with her family, you know, paying, or like being like a good role model for her brothers or sisters, and then she's helping in her community, things like that. All right, and I want you to be doing that as well. Men, you have to be doing all these things just as much as women, because we need each other and we need to build a strong team, community, and build ourselves up with Christ. But if you see her serving at church, if you see her helping out with her family, taking on a role that is much bigger than a person her age should be in, or you see her in the community, like helping the homeless, praying for the homeless, you know, doing good quality things, maybe helping the elderly, things like that. All right, she's most likely wife, bro. Go, stop being an idiot. Go get on your knees. Pause. But go get that ring, bro. I'm not even joking on that. And then she's not obsessed with being seen. All right, she's content being obedient. You know, she doesn't need all that attention. She can stay off social media. She can you know, be quiet. She doesn't have to get into drama. She can chill. She can sit. She can watch movies. You know, she can stay in her house. She can find fun without it being naughty and being immoral. All right. Finally, red flags. Pretty much the opposite of green flags. But constant drama or emotional manipulation. All right. You all had those type of crystal chicks in your high school, bro, that would just manipulate you, or the Hello Kitty girls, man. Let me tell you something. Hello Kitty did not want you to manipulate. Hello Kitty did not teach about manipulation. She did not read 48 Laws of Power, and she did not read the Dark Laws of Human Nature and all those books. All right, Hello Kitty was an innocent girl. All right, Hello Kitty girls today are doing the exact opposite of Hello Kitty. Okay, I went off on a tangent there. I'm sorry, but you know what I'm talking about. Emotional manipulation. You know, they're saying, "Oh, you're a bad person whenever you mess up," things like that. Okay, and just constant drama, constant fighting, constant attitude issues, things like that. Red flag, red flag. And then she's more concerned with IG followers, her social media status. She's not really in her Bible a lot. She doesn't know a whole lot of verses, things like that. And then she just claims to be a Christian, but shows no fruit. I messed up on those things too. I talk to girls, are you a follower of God? Yeah, I am. But then next thing you know, I see her out partying every day, vaping, you know, talking to other guys, dressing immoral, things like that. Not going to church, not having a relationship with God. It's honestly sad, but yeah. Flirting with everyone, that's next up. But says, I'm just nice, okay? they're, they're doing that thing where they're like it's on the borderlines of flirting, and you can't really call them out on it. You know what I'm talking about? You do. Yeah, you do. I know you were in my situation. I'm looking at you, bro. Yeah, I do. But, yeah, those types of girls, get them out of here. And doesn't respect you. Doesn't respect you. Wants to walk all over you. Take your money. Do all these things. She's not a woman of God, bro. All right. Matthew 7:16. You will know by their fruits. Judge them by their character. Judge them by their actions. All right. If they're doing the good things, if they're going to church, they're praying, trying to get close to the crowd, she's a wife, bro. Wife her up. Final test for yourself. If I prayed with her right now, would she feel at home or awkward? Okay? If she was genuinely right here, if my girl was genuinely next to me and we prayed together, she wouldn't feel awkward. All right? You gotta ask yourself that. Next up, if I called us to fast for a breakthrough, would she join or would she complain? All right? If me and her were here and I told her we're fasting, my girl's locking in. Is your girl? And then finally, if I said, let's wait until marriage, all right, whether we're virgins or not, let's stop it and let's be reborn virgins, would she support or would she argue about it? All right, these are things you got to ask yourself. Amos 3:3, can two walk together unless they are agreed? All right, don't settle for a woman who just goes to church, who knows of Christ. All right, seek a Proverbs 31. All right, build the kingdom beside her. All right, you two are a team, and you can genuinely build something together when you find a good, genuine girl. All right, if you want a woman of God, be a man of God first. All right, 3 years ago, I would never, ever, 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 ever attract the girls I'm talking to today. All right, that's a sign that you need to build yourself up before you can find a woman of God. All right, if you need help with that, my Instagram is down below. And I'm creating something special called the Rebirth Protocol. I'm very excited. It may be out by the time you're watching this video. It's all about fixing your life. First time people who buy it will get a 30-minute video call with me. I love you, boys. I'm grateful for every opportunity you've given me. Thank you for this platform. All glory. I'm praying for each and every single one of you.